Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, me and Hio, we are covering a deeply emotional and nationally significant case, the Tyre Nichols trial, involving the Memphis police officers that are charged in a brutal and fatal beating during a traffic stop. The video that we are about to watch comes from WREC sorry, news, which we will leave in the description box below, and gives us a look into a recent courtroom appearance.
The video that we're about to watch is not the body cam or the graphic footage from the case. It's just a procedural glimpse into the courtroom, how the trial is unfolding legally, and how that matters. We're going to play the video. Afterwards, we'll share some thoughts with you, and then we expect you to tell us what you think in the comments below, where the trial's headed, how the things have come across to you so far. Um, the video is under Section 107 of the Copyright Act, allowing for fair use. And are you ready, TCA?
Oh, yes, I am
Uh,
ready.
all right, let's watch this video.
Let's do it.
January 7th of 2023. Okay.
Okay.
Tell me about that night.
All right. I was working Scorpion unit, and me and Bean, we had someone under arrest for a traffic stop violation.
Let me interrupt you real quick. When you say Bean, do you mean Tadarius Bean?
Yes.
Do you see him in the courtroom today?
Yes, I do.
Can you point him out and tell me what he's wearing and where he's seated?
The navy blue suit, blue tie, blue shirt.
I think he nodded at you, but what seat is Mr. Bean in?
He's sitting beside Smith.
Mr. Smith is in number one, in the seat number one.
Okay, so
Mr. Bean is number two.
yes, number 2 seat.
All right, so you're with Mr. Bean.
Yes. We conducted a traffic stop. We had someone under arrest, and the suspect at the time was handcuffed in the backseat of my car. I was driving. Bean was driving alongside with me.
All right, so let me stop you. What area of town are you in?
We are in Ridgeway area. East
Okay,
Memphis.
tell this jury's not from Memphis. Okay,
Okay.
so is that downtown?
No, that's East Memphis.
Okay, East Memphis. And are you familiar with sort of a large neighborhood? Neighborhood's not the right word. Area of Memphis called Hickory Hill.
Yes.
Ridgeway is part of Hickory Hill.
Yes.
All right. And what are there businesses in Hickory Hill?
Yes, a lot of businesses.
And there's places to eat. Right.
Yes.
And there's also neighborhoods with residential houses.
Yes.
And is this the area that y'all have been sent to that night?
Yes.
Go ahead.
And he was handcuffed in the backseat of my car, and then right before me and Bean were about to search his vehicle, we heard on the radio an officer keyed up said they had one resist. He's been pepper sprayed and tased, and now he's running.
All right, so someone has resisted,
Yes.
pepper sprayed and tased and running.
Yes.
Okay.
And naturally, when you hear that come across the radio as an officer, you're supposed to go and help your fellow officers because you don't know what's going on over there. So when we heard it, we released the guy we had. It was just a minor offense. And we got into my car, and then we drove to the area where the location that they put out. And when we got over there, the stop was Ross and Rains. Traffic stop was Ross and Rains. And
How far away from Ross and Rains were y'all? Or how long did it take? I'm not really asking for, I don't care about the distance.
it wasn't too far, maybe a mile and a half or 2 far.
Okay.
It wasn't too far. And we got there, they said that Mr. Nichols went southbound on Ross. So I turned down Ross, me and Bean, we start driving down Ross. Took a first left, and it was a residential neighborhood, and we drove all around the neighborhood, and we didn't see Mr. Nichols. And when I pulled out to continue to go southbound on Ross, as I was driving, I just looked in my rearview mirror, and then I saw Mr. Nichols just like appear right there in the road, and I said, "Bean, I think that's him." I turned around and I said, "Hey, what was the description of Mr. Nichols?" He said it, and then we rolled the window down to talk to him. And as soon as he said, "Hey," Mr. Nichols took off running, and that's when Bean got in the car first. He started chasing him.
And would it be fair, let me interrupt you, would it be fair to say that whatever description you all were given of Mr. Nichols, did that person match that description?
Yes, and he was wiping his face. And he was wiping his face, I think with a shirt or something. And so Bean took off running. I got out of the car. I started running. And I turned back because I forgot to lock the car. I locked the car, and then by the time I turned around, I didn't see Bean or Miss Nichols no more. So I just started running, and then I seen when they went up another street. I don't know the name of that street. And then that's when I saw Bean again, Mr. Nichols, and I seen it was Smith car. And then there was some residents outside, and I asked them, what's the name of the street? Because I didn't know where I was. They gave me the name of the street, and then I put it on dispatch, and then I ran up with the rest of the other, with Bean, Smith, and Mr. Nichols.
So put it on dispatch, mean you said on the radio where y'all were at?
Yes, it's on radio. And then I ran up there, and I immediately pepper sprayed him.
Well, when you run up there, what do you see? Who's doing what?
I see Dean and Smith. They're holding Mr. Nichols.
Is Mr. Nichols standing up or is he on the ground?
He was on the ground. He was on the ground.
Okay.
He was on the ground. And I pulled out the pepper spray and I sprayed again. And I sprayed him 2 times. It wasn't working. And the third time I tried to
Did you say it wasn't working or wasn't worth it? I couldn't hear you.
No, I sprayed and it just wasn't working.
Wasn't working?
Yeah, it wasn't working. And then I sprayed the third time, and the third time I sprayed myself. And then when I sprayed myself, I backed away from Miss Nichols, Bean, and Smith. And I was trying to collect my thoughts. Because when you get sprayed, you really can't see that. You can't see.
Had you been sprayed directly in the eyes?
Yes. I sprayed myself directly in the eye. And I backed away. I was trying to collect myself. And then at that time, it was Bean, Smith, and I believe Martin was there now.
And let me interrupt you because we did this with Mr. Bain. We need to do it with everybody. I think you've already identified him, but can you tell me where Mr. Smith is seated in the courtroom?
Seat 1.
The record could reflect he's identified, Justice. Smith and Bean and Emmett Martin?
Yes.
So at this point, it is those 3. Is Mr. Nichols still on the ground?
Yes.
And you have sprayed yourself and you're attempting to collect yourself?
Yes. And I heard the officers kept saying, give me your hands. And because I sprayed myself, I became angry and I used my baton. I pulled my baton out and I approached.
I'm talking to you right now in this courtroom. You seem pretty mild-mannered. How angry did you become?
pulled the baton out. I sprayed myself, so I couldn't see. It made me angry.
Okay. What you did?
And then I pulled the baton out and I approached Mr. Nichols and I told him, I said I was gonna effing baton you. And I told the officers who were in the way to move. I said, move. And then I used the baton on Mr. Nichols 3 times on his right arm. And then I stopped. And
Now, had you been trained in the use of this baton?
yes,
Now, with regard just to the physical way in which you struck Mr. Nichols, just in regard to where you struck Mr. Nichols, was that consistent with your training?
yes, it was.
Okay. As part of your training, were you trained when to use the baton and when not to?
Yes.
Are you supposed to use it because you're angry at somebody?
No.
You struck him 3 times where?
On his right arm.
Did he react to that?
No.
Physically, where is he at when you're striking him?
He had right arm was on the ground and the left arm was up, and he kind of was like a knee in the ground, maybe I would say.
Okay, so sort of half up, half down.
Yes.
Were Bean and Smith still there with him?
I think it was Smith was holding his arm at that time.
Was Bean still there?
Yeah, he was still in the area.
Now, when you had collected yourself, did you know that Emmett Martin had soccer kicked him to the head?
No.
Did you know that Emmett Martin had kicked him even a second time to the head?
No.
Did you know that when he soccer kicked him both times that Bean and Smith were there holding him down?
No, I didn't learn the kicks until I watched the video.
And what video are you talking about?
The incident with Mr. Nichols.
I understand the incident, but which video? You understand what I'm asking?
The Sky Cop camera. I think it is.
Skycap camera. Now, you had a body camera on, is that correct?
Yes.
And some of the others had body cameras on, is that correct? Or do you know?
We are supposed to.
All supposed to.
Yes.
Some did.
I didn't hear it.
Some did. Some did have body cameras on.
Yeah, yes. I think we are.
The Skycop camera is something different, though. Is that right?
Yes.
When did you find out that Skycop camera that's up there on the pole? When did you find out that was there?
When I got back to the office that night.
Afterwards.
Yes, afterwards.
So you didn't know it was there at the time.
No.
Tell us about after the 3 baton strikes.
After that, I stopped, and then the pepper spray is reactivating itself again. Until you wash it out, it keeps activating on and off. And I was just standing there, and then my eyes were shut, and I heard the thump sound. And I heard after the second one, that's when I peeked my eyes open and I looked over and I seen Martin was punching Mr. Nichols.
Did you see what Mr. Bean and Mr. Smith were doing?
They were just holding his hand, holding his arm.
Was Tyre standing?
Yes, he's standing at this point, yes.
Was Mr. Bean on one hand and Mr. Smith on the other?
Yes.
And Mr. Martin was hit
Yes.
hard?
Yes. And And after I peeked and looked, I was wondering, so why is he punching him? And then I didn't want to look no more because it didn't look good. And
You said it doesn't look good. What do you mean?
the way how he was punching Mr. Nichols.
Looked like it wasn't right.
Correct.
Looked like it could really hurt him.
Correct.
Had you heard Tyre make any threats to you?
No, I can't read. I don't recall no threats.
We heard that you said something about, I'm going to effing baton you. Is that correct?
Yes.
Did you hear anybody else there make any threats?
No, I can't recall. No.
Did you ever hear anybody there say hit him?
When I watched the video, that's when I heard the hit him.
And we're going to watch the videos. So that'll be the appropriate time, I guess, for me to ask you about that.
Okay.
Mr. hit Mr. Bean Smith at his side. What happens next?
I believe after I couldn't look no more, and then after that, I believe that's when he was taken into custody.
Now, you're not a small man. Would you agree with me?
I agree.
Is Mr. Martin bigger than you?
Just taller.
Just taller.
Yes.
Who is the smallest person out there?
Officer or anybody?
Anybody?
Mr. Nichols.
Mr. Nichols. Did you ever see Mr. Nichols throw a punch?
No.
Did you ever see Mr. Nichols try to karate kick anybody?
No.
Did you ever see Mr. Nichols produce a weapon?
No.
When you said that what you saw Mr. Martin doing with Mr. Bean and Mr. Smith at his side, when you said it was wrong, well, you're doing something wrong right then too, aren't you?
Yes.
What's your duty as a police officer when you see something like that?
Stop Mr. Martin.
You got to try to stop it, don't you?
Yes.
You take an oath to be a police officer, don't you?
Yes.
You understand that you have a duty to intervene,
Yes.
even if that means intervening with your fellow officers when you see excessive force. Is that right?
Yes.
Each and every one of you officers out there had a duty to intervene, didn't you?
Yes.
Did you ever say, stop?
No.
Do you regret that?
Yes.
Did you ever try to get yourself in between Mr. Martin and Tyre and, whoa, we got this. We got this. We got this. You ever try to do that?
No.
Do you regret that?
Yes.
Did you ever see Mr. Bean or Mr. Smith? We got this. We got this. Stop.
No.
Did you ever see any of those officers out there do that?
No.
Instead, it just kept going.
Yes.
You said he was taken into custody. You meant that he was brought to the ground?
That he had both handcuffs on.
At this point, a bunch of people on top of him?
No, I don't. I can see the video again, but I don't recall.
Okay, do you remember how many people were physically, taking him into custody at that time?
No, I don't.
Did you ever physically touch Tyre Nichols?
Yes, I did.
When did you touch him?
When I used the baton.
I got that. So when you struck him with a baton 3 times, but did you ever handle him?
No.
Did you ever hold him up?
No.
Did you ever press him down on the ground?
No.
But you batoned him the 3 times.
Yes.
After he is, I'm going to use your phrase, taken into custody, okay? Do you see Defendant Haley arrive?
I saw him arrive when I watched my camera.
Okay, so at that time, you do not remember seeing Defendant Haley?
No.
Okay. But later, when you watch your body-worn camera, you see Defendant Haley?
Yes.
We will watch it. With the appropriate time, I'll ask you about that, okay?
Okay.
Tell me what happens next.
So after he was taken custody, he was propped up against someone's car, the tire, and then the fire department arrived, and they were there. They were doing what they do to someone, and then I remember I saw as they were there, Miss Nichols slouched over to the ground, and I yelled, "Hey!" I said, "Hey!" Look at him, and then I believe Smith said to the fire department, he said, "Bag him."
Does that mean something about oxygen, getting oxygen to him or something?
I don't know what it means. I just know Smith went to EMT or paramedic school, something, but he did that. So I would say that Smith would know better what EMT paramedic should do than I would do.
Gotcha. While paramedics doing whatever they're doing, we'll see it for ourselves, on the video. While he's doing what he's doing, Smith saying whatever, are you telling these paramedics, man, look at his head. He got hit a lot really hard in his head.
No, I didn't tell the paramedics anything.
What happens? Tyree's at the car on the ground.
And then, so now paramedics are now they're working on him, they're doing their paramedic stuff with him, and we find out he's going to be transported to the hospital. Our lieutenant made scene.
Is his name Dwayne Smith?
Yes.
Now, while this paramedic stuff is going on with Mr. Nichols, are you having conversations with these defendants? With Defendant Martin and with Defendant Smith and Defendant Bean and Defendant Haley?
Yes.
What's the substance of those conversations?
I kept asking Martin what happened, why you stopped him, and how did we get over here, how did we get to this, because I was in disbelief on how Mr. Nichols looked. Normally, as a police officer, I respond if someone looks like that. I've never been part of something when someone looks like that. So I kept asking Martin over and over.
How to get to this?
Yes, how to get to this, why he stopped him, what he do, what he had. I kept asking him.
Well, you had part of the answer of how it got to this like this is your anger.
Yes.
At some point in these conversations, we'll watch it on the body cam, so I'm not going to ask you exactly what everybody said, okay?
Okay.
But did some of these defendants make statements about hitting Mr. Nichols?
Yes.
Did they make statements about everybody was rocking them or whatever?
Yes, if I listen to the video, I can tell you better.
Is there a point in the video where we're going to see one of the defendants, we'll have you describe it when we see it, makes a motion about taking your body camera off?
Yes.
What is that about?
That was Martin, and he was telling me to take the camera off because he wanted to tell me something so the camera wouldn't catch it.
And we'll be able to see that on the body cam, is that right?
Yes.
Mr. Nichols is against this car. Y'all are having the conversations y'all are having. Is Mr. Nichols ultimately transported away?
Yes, he is.
Tell me about that.
We went to the hospital. Me and Bean went with him. Bean was riding in the ambulance, and I was following behind. We got to the hospital, and
When you were following the ambulance, were you aware of how critical Mr. Nichols' condition was?
yes, I called Bean as we were driving, and he said they're performing CPR.
As in his heart stopped?
Or if that's for CPR, yes.
Do you want Mr. Nichols to die?
No, I do not. I did not.
That'd be real bad. Is that right?
Correct.
You're following to the hospital, Bean's riding in the ambulance. What happens?
Get to the hospital, and then they bring him inside of one of the rooms, and the doctors and nurses, they're working on him, and me and Bean was sitting outside the room.
Y'all actually go into the hospital.
Yes.
How long did you stay in the hospital?
We were there for a long time. I believe a long time, yeah.
Did y'all leave that night?
Yes.
When y'all left, was Mr. Nichols still alive?
Yes.
When you left, do you have conversations with Mr. Bean?
I don't think we said too much with Ryan Carr, but we was.
I didn't mean to interrupt you. You don't think you said too much? I was just riding the car.
It was quiet more so.
It was quiet.
Yeah.
Probably pretty sobering.
Yes.
Did you have a conversation that night with Mr. Haley?
Yes, I did.
How did that conversation happen?
When I was leaving the hospital, Mr. Haley kept calling my phone, and when I spoke with him, he asked me if I seen him on my body camera doing anything.
Mr. Haley asked you if you could see your body cam and see whether or not Mr. Haley was doing anything.
Yes.
Okay.
And then that's when I watched it real quick to see where he's on there, and I told him that I only see him running up on my body camera when I was walking away.
And did Mr. Haley at that point make any statement to you about kicking Mr. Nichols?
No.
Could you see Mr. Haley on your body cam kick Mr. Nichols?
No.
When did you become aware that Mr. Haley kicked Mr. Nichols?
When I think it was at the internal affairs interview. Yeah.
Y'all have to speak with internal affairs, is that right?
Yes.
Y'all have to fill out forms about like what type of physical contact you had with Mr. Nichols, is that right?
Yes.
And do y'all do those things that night?
Yes.
And that night, do you tell the truth and say, I batoned Mr. Nichols for no reason other than I was angry?
No.
Did you tell the truth and say, while Bean and Smith stood at his arms, Mr. Martin punched him and punched him and punched him, and I could hear the thuds, and I thought this was wrong?
No.
Did you tell him that I, just like everybody else there, had a duty to intervene, but we didn't do it?
Your Honor, will object to the lady. He can ask his question on what he said that night.
What did you tell him?
Well, the blue team's a form, like you said.
You called the blue team, is that right?
Yeah, so when you use of force, the form name was called blue team. And on the blue team, I put the use of force that I use. You put what you use. I did what I did.
And you didn't put that other stuff?
No, I didn't put none. No, I didn't put what I saw.
Do you even make a comment at some point that this was all by the book?
Yes, I said that on the scene. My lieutenant arrived.
And was that a truthful statement or an untruthful statement?
Untruthful statement.
Why would you make an untruthful statement about what y'all did that night?
It was just trying to. I knew it was a bad situation. I'm just trying to make it seem better.
Were you trying to get yourself out of trouble?
Yes.
Were you trying to keep your fellow police officers out of trouble?
More so me.
Or so you?
More so me.
Did you know how bad it was yet?
I knew it was real bad when we was out there, because I was praying for him when I was out there. I knew that.
Did you know they had that Skycop camera video yet?
No, not till I got back to the office.
We've mentioned Mr. Haley a couple times. Can you point him out in the courtroom and tell us where he's seated?
Would that be C4?
C4, okay. So Mr. Smith, Mr. Bean, and then Mr. Haley, is that correct?
Yeah, yes.
The record could reflect that, identify Mr. Haley.
So reflected.
Or at some point, did you find out the TBI was investigating this matter?
Yes.
And were y'all asked to come have pictures taken of y'all that night?
Yes.
And we'll do these one by one. Tell me who is this?
This is me?
And is that what you're wearing that night?
Yes, it was.
All right, that could be Martin Say-So, somebody said it.
We will show the photo of Mr. Mills as we did it. E5.
There's nothing that obviously council's seen these pictures. These are just pictures of them that night. If we could just go ahead and publish them while we go, Judge. Just pass this. You tell me who's in this next picture?
This is Bean.
If that Martin Say-So, somebody said it.
We will show a picture of Mr. Bean as we did at 6.
Martin.
Like somebody's with it.
So a photo of Mr. Martin as we did at 7.
Haley.
Like somebody's with it.
So a photo of Mr. Haley as we did at 8.
This is a set of 2 photographs. The second photograph is of this defendant's shoes. It's not alleged this defendant kicked the victim, but the shoes are very distinctive on the video and make it easy to follow this defendant on the video.
You guys will stipulate those are Justin Smith's shoes.
Smith.
We'll show the 2-page with the Mr. Smith and his shoes as exhibit 9.
As they return the exhibits after it goes all the way through, I can give Mr. Mills his pen and just have him write their names on each picture.
Okay. Oh,
While we're waiting, there's one more. We're gonna watch some body cam later of the stop. Tell me who this officer is.
Hemphill?
Was Hemphill on the Scorpion team with y'all?
Yes, he was.
We'll show exhibit 10. That's a photo of Mr. Nichols.
Okay, got that. I'm going to leave that playing through the end of the video. There's just a couple of minutes left. So let's talk about what we saw and what you think.
Yeah. Well, I think first of all, it's like just to explain that this case wasn't really proper done where the incident occurred, was it?
No. So the area that this occurred in was in the Hickory Hill area in Memphis, and this is an out of town jury, so they're not familiar with the area itself of Hickory Hill.
Exactly, because we saw him describing where he was going and everything, but the prosecutor had to remind him that the jury did not know where anything was because they were not from that area. Where,
Right.
yeah. So
Right.
exactly. So it's an outside of town's jury, per se. So also the officers they are being charged is three of them. So they are charged with second degree murder, aggravated assault, aggravated kidnapping, official misconduct, and official oppression. Miles, which is the guy that is on the stand that we just heard from, and Martin were also charged, but they will not stand trial with their former colleagues as a result of their agreement to testify against their colleagues, basically.
Right. And I think it was worth mentioning, you said that he had actually spent the entire day on the stand yesterday.
Oh
Is
yeah,
that is that
yeah,
what you
exactly.
saw?
This is a portion of his testimony. He literally went through everything. He went through the body camera videos, which you can find in the link below as well. He went through every single thing. So he's literally spent the whole day on the stand, testifying yesterday. Yeah.
That's pretty scary, to be honest with you. Like just the thought process of having to get back up there, even though you did something wrong, like having to get back up there and testify in front of everybody. Like to me, that's just a scary. I don't know. I don't ever want to be in the place where I have to get up and testify in front of everybody. So I won't
Oh
keep
yeah,
us
same.
long. I won't keep us long because I definitely want to go through some of this stuff. But this was the original. This is in the archives for the U.S. Department of Justice. So there were two different versions. There was a the federal charges, the federal civil rights and conspiracy charges, and then now what we're going through is the state of Tennessee that is charging these officers now. So this came out in
Yeah.
November of 2023, that all of these charges and the indictment that came along with that. So I'll leave that in the description box as well if anybody wants to read about what happened. But originally, Mills admitted to a bunch of things that happened during the incident, and he went over a lot of that during the trial yesterday. And he's admitted from the beginning basically to repeatedly and unjustifiably striking Nichols with the baton and failing to intervene when the other officers were doing the same. So I will leave that in the description box so that you can read over that.
Yeah,
And
because that's
then
actually going to be interesting. Yeah.
it's scary. It's very
Well.
scary to think. Nichols was 29 years old, and he
Mm.
basically, the long and short of it, he fled in January of 2023 in a traffic stop after he was yanked out of his car. He was pepper sprayed and he was hit with a taser before all of this happened. So 5 officers caught up with him. They punched him, they kicked him, they hit him, they beat him with a baton. We
Yeah.
heard in the testimony that he soccer kicked him. They struggled to handcuff him, and he was doing all of this while screaming out for his mother mere steps from his own home.
Well, that is absolutely crazy and disgusting that that happened. And in when he was testifying, and I know that he was appearing to be minimizing his role in the when everything that was occurring is like, yeah, I saw the guys do it, they did this. Is like it was like an innocent party of the whole thing when he knows he wasn't.
It did appear to be that way. It did appear. He was like making himself trying to be like the smaller guy. Like, yeah, I mean, I got mad at him and I did it, but like these guys, they did it worse. You know what I mean? So yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, it's just a sad case, and altogether not. Just there's no words sometimes to describe situations like this.
Yeah, absolutely. So the video itself. So this is what I take away, not from the we didn't watch the body cam footage. I have not seen it, and I've heard that it's very emotionally charged. I probably will take a
It
look at
is.
some point, but the tone in the courtroom, it's formal, it's calm, but knowing what this entire case represents, there's a tension, and you can feel it even through the screen. Like these officers are facing incredibly serious charges, second degree murder, and we're watching the legal system go, methodically through every detail of that night. And what strikes me is how different the system in the courtroom appears to be when you compare the footage to the body cam video that people have seen. The stark contrast between like the violence of the night that that happened, and then all of the procedures that are happening in trial, like you mentioned, the appearance to minimize your role in the occurrence. In my opinion, it's not about, I mean, it is about guilt or innocence, don't get me wrong, but it's about trusting in the system. And right now, that's where we are in the United States. It's whether we need to reform how things are running,
Mm,
whether it's
yeah.
going to be, if there will be any real accountability for what actually happened to Tyre Nichols is yet to be seen.
Well, let's hope that there's justice and that, well, one day this will be one of the last cases that of this whole situation is gonna happen. And
Yeah, and as soon as we get into verdict watch, hopefully it'll be at a time that you and I will be able to come live, and
yes, definitely.
yeah, and let's go through the verdict watch. Anyway, let us know what your thoughts are in the comments below. Are you following this case at all? Do you think the officers, are guilty on the state side? You know, what do you think? What should they do? What should their charges be? You know, and how are you feeling about this case?
Yeah,
At
let us
the
know. And
Yeah,
yeah,
I
obviously,
th-
because it's a controversial but very interesting case that should be talked about and should be out there. Yeah.
yeah. Also, let us know if you'd like me and TCA to cover any more, or if you have a trial out there that you want to cover a little bit of. Let us know in the comments below. Other than that, we'll catch you in the next one. Thanks for hanging with Hio, and
Yep. And TCA, I'll see you in the flip
see
side. Bye.
And I'm a real-time crime professional.